Hello everyone! What's going on? I love that intro. Like every time I see that, I'm like, oh look, that's so nice. Welcome to Digital Mindset, you guys. I am Vanessa Michelle.
I'm Chris Paulino. We got another good one for you today, so we're glad you're back here on Digital Mindset, hashtag Digital Mindset.
Yes.
Make sure you go on there, ask any questions you might have. Also go ahead and share this right now, like it, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Today we're going to be talking about how to align your social media with your brand and with your business so that you can get more attention out there in the marketplace. One thing that we know is one of the biggest problems business owners are having in today's digital age is they're not getting enough attention. That's one of the hardest things to do when everybody has a smartphone, everybody can go on Facebook Live, everybody can use YouTube, everybody can use these digital platforms. So now you have to increase your social media and everything else so that you can get attention. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Perfect. And we have 3 main points for you guys. We always want to encourage you to get your notebooks, get your pens, get your notes on your phone, get your Evernote ready. The 3 things that we're going to be talking about today is social media, the content that you have, and making sure that it refers back over to your website. We'll get into that. Secondly, tips on managing your socials. So we're going to give you some tips on how to do that. And lastly, developing a posting strategy. So first and foremost, let's dive into how social media content should always refer back to your website. So basically what this means is that when you're posting about different, specials, or maybe if you're a restaurant, different specials that you might have, or if you're providing a service or a product, anything that you're posting about should be provided on your website as well. So we should basically be seeing the same information. I know sometimes we'll stop people's websites and stuff, and we'll see how they're doing, what they're doing on the website, and we'll notice that some of that stuff isn't on their social media or vice versa, and it's troubling because it's like, well, that's like false advertisement. And then quite frankly, I would be upset if you're posting something and it's not even like on your website, or there's no way for me to follow up with you about that post or whatever. What do you think about that, Chris?
I agree. And I think one of the big things that a lot of business owners, websites, and the digital marketing out there is getting wrong is you have to be able to turn your traffic into a lead. Okay, we keep saying this over and over again because that's how you're going to increase revenue, get that lead to your sales team so that you can get more jobs, sell more products, get your services out there, whatever the case is. And if your social media is not leading back to the landing page, aka your website, or other landing pages you might have or create, then you're really not trying to turn that traffic into a lead. And that's where the money happens. That's where the magic happens, is getting that lead, getting the conversation offline so that you can implement your sales process and try and turn viewers into customers.
Right, and that even helps doing that even helps with SEO, backlinks. You want those links so that when people are sharing something on Facebook, or they're sharing on your Instagram or whatever, all those backlinks are really helpful to draw in that SEO, and a lot of people don't think about that, but yeah, it's a really important part to your social media. So let's get into the second one. I feel like we've basically told you guys what you can do on that part. So the second part is managing your socials, different ways to manage your socials. So I think it wasn't the last talk that we had, but the talk before that about branding, this idea of researching hashtags. So sometimes we'll have clients who are like, well, I don't really know how to post or what to post or what kind of content does my target market like. One of the most unique tricks that you can do is to go on these different socials, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter or Instagram, and look up some hashtags on, okay, what are people posting about this particular product or this particular service, and how are people interacting with these particular hashtags. That's a really, really good tool to use that we've kind of seen in our field of work.
Yeah, and one of the good things about hashtags, you go on Twitter, you can see what's trending now, you can see what hashtags get the most posts, get the most views. digital marketing or whatever hashtag you're going to. And you know, we always go back to that research part.
Yeah, it's huge.
You know, you can use these to your advantage to research, okay, what are people talking about in digital marketing? What's going viral in the digital marketing hashtag, in the landscaping hashtag, in the plumbing area, you know, whatever the case is, so you can duplicate that content, make it 10 times better, and start to pull some of that viral traffic.
Right, I believe that.
You know, we keep saying, you know, don't reinvent the wheel. You know, if you're seeing that people want to, you know, talk about this certain hashtag, this certain topic, might as well jump in on that conversation. And that's good, you know, one good way to manage your socials and use hashtags to find good content to create and then share with your audience.
Right, and one thing that we've noticed too, when you do go to those hashtags and you follow those filters and stuff like that, even on Instagram, you'll see that certain accounts have like a certain culture. They develop a certain culture. So if it's a brand that's really poppy in nature, like the colors and the way that they word things, that's a strategy. Like the way that they're setting up their Instagram, that's an actual strategy. So implement that same strategy where you have the poppy colors if it's for your industry. If you have an industry that's more like toned down as far as like colors and the vibe and stuff like that, you know, have more subtle pictures, but you want to, you know, take in consideration the culture of the post, because all of that is really a strategy. So that's huge. So hashtagging, write that down. Go to various hashtags on these platforms and see what's out there, and that'll help a lot for your strategy. So it looks like the second one we have here on tips on managing your socials. Make sure to strategize how you want to display content on various platforms. And this is so big, and this deals a lot with like your target audience, because every audience isn't going to use every single platform. You might really be able to hone in on a certain demographic on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. I know they like to say a lot, like millennials and stuff are on Instagram a lot. So if that's your demographic, that's the platform that you really want to hone in on. Or if you're more on Facebook where it's service related and stuff like that, that's where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep talking about that. And one of the best ways to find out where your customer is to use all of these different platforms. Be present on all these different platforms and see, you know, when I do video on LinkedIn as opposed to YouTube, as opposed to Facebook, which one brings me the most interaction? You know, if you're a business-to-business company, being on LinkedIn makes more sense than maybe being on Instagram. And you know, if you're selling products, fashionable products, bracelets, clothes, food, whatever the case is, it's going to be better to be on Instagram than it is to be on LinkedIn. But either way, you don't want to ignore these different platforms, because you have multiple different people on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, and people take in the content from different sources. And if you're not on those sources, you're not going to get that attention. And again, attention is the one thing every business owner needs in today's digital age. Got to get your name out there, got to get your brand out there. People have to know that your services are available, they have to know what your product does, and they have to be able to find you.
Right, and I like what you said, how you're saying that, because it's important to test it out. Like I think because sometimes we're in this industry where it's like, okay, everything is really fast, and you want to figure out, you know, how do we just get out there? Let's just go. But really trying to hone in on where your audience gravitates towards you more is so important. So try them. If you're skeptical about Twitter, try Twitter and see how that works, and whatever, and then you'll see where your target audience actually gravitates toward you. And so that's so important to do. Don't limit yourself because you're like, oh, I don't know if that'll work for me or whatever, but try it out. If you don't test it, you know, how will you know? And then you're cutting yourself short. One thing that was really neat too, that I remember Chris got me hip to, was this 80-20 rule. So can you talk a little bit about the 80-20 rule when it comes to posts and stuff like that?
Absolutely, but I do want to jump right back for 1 second. You know, too often we hear business owners saying, you know, Facebook isn't where I need to be, or you know, I shouldn't be running a page, or you know, my you know, why would I have a Twitter? You know, my customer's not there. The first question is, have you ever tried it? Most of the time it's no. So how do you know your customer's not there? So, you know, as Vanessa said, don't get caught not trying out these platforms, not looking for your customer in different audiences, because you might be surprised on what you might find if you venture out, you try some new things, and you kind of test the waters. But
right. You know what? I had a client who said that she was trying to sell, she had some candles or something. She was trying to sell her candles on Facebook. And for some reason it just wasn't working out. And she's like, you know what, I'll try this Instagram thing. I don't know much about it. And she just started using her phone on Instagram to capture some of her, right, on Instagram, like real life on Instagram right now. And so she was using Instagram, and it worked for her business. But she was so skeptical about Instagram. And then now her business is flourishing because she used Instagram. And she tested out, and that's a smart business person. Just try it, see if it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and you move on.
Yeah. So back to the 80-20 rule. You know, a lot of people anymore, I mean, I'm sure you have the person in your Facebook friends that sells cars, just got a new car sales job, and all you see him or her post about is car, come buy my car, buy this car, great deal, special, it's Labor Day, it's Groundhog's Day, it's Saturday.
Right.
And what do? Typically you're going to unfollow that person. You don't want to see that in your timeline. You're not logging into Facebook to see ads from your friends or whatever the case is over and over and over again. Okay? So take that same idea and apply it in your business. So if you're posting and you have a restaurant, share cool videos about food, about cooking tips, about, you know, really about anything. Picture of your dog sometimes is good. And the 80-20 rule means 8 out of 10 posts should be social, 2 out of 10 posts should be marketing. So 2 of the 10 times share your soup specials this week, or share your food specials, or share your drink specials, or whatever the case is. But don't be that company that is just jamming advertisements down people's throat, because what you see in that little right corner as you look at your Facebook business page in the like section, 100 likes, 120 likes, that's not going to help you. So you're going to post and 3 people are going to see your post. That's doing nothing for you, okay? You have to get a Facebook page or a social page. You have to gear it around interacting and providing social content and value content to your audience, so that they want to interact with you, they want to follow with you, so then when you do advertise to them, they're not as mad. They're like, okay, we'll check out this advertisement. Oh, that soup looks great. Let's go in, let's take let's get a bowl. So stop being so salesy all the time. People don't want to see it. We're not in that age anymore. You know, people buy Pandora without ads for $10 a month. People TiVo, TV shows and things like that, so they can fast forward through the commercials. People record basketball games and football games ahead of time and watch it 30 minutes later so that they can skip through the commercials. People don't want to be advertised to. So provide content, provide value, get them to like you for who you are, and then when you advertise, it's going to be more effective.
Yeah, and I think Gary Vee mentioned his book, isn't it? There's a jab, hook or something?
Jab, right hook, or
yeah, something like that. Anyways, and so it basically just means provide that value, and then come in for that closing. And I think that is so key, because everyone doesn't just want to be advertised to. Even for myself, I hate that. I hate going on someone's page and they're like, yeah, buy this, do that, do this, and do that. Sometimes I just want to know what kind of coffee you sell. If you're a coffee person, I want to know what value are you adding to me if you're a car salesman, or if you're providing natural products or whatever. Sometimes I just want to see that. I don't want to just see the direct marketing. So the 80-20 rule, if you guys want to take anything away from this talk, take away the 80-20 rule and implement that. And you can Google that. It's Googleable.
And you know, one good thing about that is customers, clients, people that are going to use your products, your service, come to your restaurant, whatever the case is, they typically have to bring in 6 pieces of content before they'll reach out to your business. Okay, so if you have no blog, that's not adding any value. If you have a Facebook page, that's not adding any value, but it's only asking for the business, they got to see 6 different pieces that add value that are like, hey, I want to go in there. So if you're a restaurant, 6 different meals that they would like, or 3 meals, 3 desserts, drinks, you know, whatever. Show them pictures and then they're like, oh wow, we got to go in there, and boom, now they're coming to your website. Okay, so if every time you're posting is just, you know, these corny posts that I know you guys are seeing, because I still see them every day, and they're long, and oh my
no
gosh,
one's even looking at it.
No one's looking at it.
If you can make someone laugh through your post or provide something fun and entertaining, like, now they don't feel so like almost manipulated. Like, that's almost how it feels. Like, you know, I'm seeing your feed and you're constantly just trying to market to me. But if you're just trying to make me laugh, you know, you're trying to keep me inspired as a company, I'm way more invested to come back to your page or to engage in your page, or I might just show up for whatever special you might have because of what you provided me before that. So that's huge.
Yeah, great point.
Another tip too for managing your socials, and this is getting more into like the logistics of managing your socials, and it's so crazy because I was just at a meetup and there are people that were like, I can't stand the idea of like throughout my day always having to stop and post. I mean, it takes forever to do it. One really good thing that I'm so surprised that businesses don't know about even now, but you know, it is what it is. We wouldn't have our jobs if we didn't. The important thing to know about that's a tool is Buffer and Hootsuite. So some people use Buffer, some people use Hootsuite, and basically that allows you to schedule your posts throughout the week. And I think that's a really helpful tool if you're someone who's always on the go, you don't always have time to stop and do posts or take pictures or whatever. Using Buffer or using Hootsuite or something of that nature where you're able to schedule out your posts will help you a lot. And I even offered the idea that, you know, it can be something consistent, because I know sometimes something happens during the week and you want to post right then and there, and that's perfect. That's just a bonus. But if you plan like on Sunday to have, you know, 6 or 10 posts going out during the week, you know for sure, no matter what, no matter if your schedule gets busy, there are posts going up. And they can be stuff, it can be information that's usually static. So your mission statement is always going to be static. Post something fun and quirky about your mission statement. Post something fun about something that had been previously. Post something fun about, I don't know, one of your workers doing something silly, or that they did something silly, or whatever. Having that schedule is so helpful because you're able to do the things that you need to without having to spend, you know, hours, you know, figuring out a post or minutes. I know sometimes it takes people longer to make a full post, so, you know, that's really helpful.
Now, I do want to throw a giant little red flag up here and just let you know that this does not mean you can get lazy. Okay, because Facebook, LinkedIn, all these different platforms, I'm pretty convinced they have a way to tell if you're using other softwares to, you know, automate your posts, automate the things that you're saying. So you still want to bring in them organic posts when you're thinking about something just randomly throughout the day. You still want to throw that on Twitter. You still want to throw that on LinkedIn or Facebook, or, you know, all three, because if you just use Buffer, if you just use Hootsuite, if you just use some of these different platforms or apps that you can use to automate your social media, you're not going to get as much reach. And I think it's simply because of the algorithms that they have built in. They know you're using those apps and they kind of ding you on the back end. So don't take that as, you know, you're going to be able to be lazy and never post again. You know, besides on Buffer and Hootsuite, you still want to bring in that organic, you know, content, those organic tweets, whatever the case is. So, and the more the merrier. You know, I hear people all the time say, you know, I don't want to bother my crowd, I don't want to blow them up too much. Your audience is not sitting there on Facebook and Twitter and waiting for you to post and like, oh my God, they post 5 times a day, they posted 50 times a day, holy cow. No, get over that. Start posting 50 times a day on all platforms if you can. I mean, I know it's a lot, but what I'm saying is there's no limit to how much you can post during the day. Post thoughts, post ideas, document your life, your travels, your coffee this morning. Oh man, you guys got a great bagel. Let's document it with a quick video on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Boom, who knows? That stuff is what you need to do. Document what you're doing, put out a lot of content. Don't be scared to be in people's face. Don't be scared to be out there and then posting multiple times a day, because that's what it takes to get attention. And again, attention is key.
Right, and even, I'm thinking about Twitter. Oh my gosh, the climate on Twitter It's definitely a commitment, I will say that. But it seemed like the more that I was like tweeting, the more engagement I got, more people coming in, just giving their opinions. People I don't even know, even some from like different countries. And it's so crazy the reach that you can have when you really stay committed to building up a nice strategy to your social media platforms.
Yeah. And people on Twitter, they don't care, man. You send 1,000 tweets in a day, and they're like, "Damn, good job, dude. You're tweeting a fuckload, like,
right.
dude."
Yeah.
And they appreciate that. So, you know, if you are scared to post 100 times a day on LinkedIn or on Facebook or something, okay, do it on Twitter, because no one's gonna care if you do it on Twitter.
Right. It's almost expected for you to like tweet crazy, or even on Instagram, like to document almost every little thing that you're doing. Even Snapchat, a lot of the big weights in like marketing talk about how people are underutilizing Snapchat because people want to see the document, like what's going on in your day. How was that bagel? Was it good? Should I go there to get that bagel? It's the craziest thing.
And the thing is people think that just kids are on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is on Snapchat.
Right. I'm on Snapchat, and I love it.
Everyone. My mom's on Snapchat. My girlfriend's mom's on Snapchat. Everybody's out here using filters and doing all this stuff. So, you know, it comes back to that, not trying new platforms out. Just saying, oh, my customer's not on Snapchat. Oh, they're not on Instagram. Mm-hmm. As we said earlier, your friend with the candle company, she wouldn't have went to Instagram. Who knows what would have been happening to her business right now today. Maybe she'd still be there, maybe she wouldn't. But we know that she ventures out, she's scared of Instagram, gets past her fear, starts using Instagram, and now sales are going up because of it. So
it's right there. It's right. Cool. So let's get into this last part here. So developing a post strategy. So here's one suggestion that I have when it comes to actually developing a post strategy. Sometimes I'll encourage clients to have a theme weekly. Look at Chris over here. I'm like getting so distracted, but hey, Instagram. Are they saying anything on there? Oh,
we got a couple people.
Oh, okay, cool. If you guys have questions, you can go ahead and put that in the feed as well, and we'll try to answer those. But so sometimes I'll encourage clients to have things weekly. So you may have Monday motivation, post something fun and motivational. You could have Tuesdays where you demonstrate something that you're doing in your cafe, if you have a cafe, or if you have a cleaning, supply store or something, post something about that. Wednesdays you're doing something. So every single day having a theme might hold you more accountable. Because I know sometimes it can be almost like, okay, where do I start? Where do I begin with my posts and stuff like that? And I see that like anxiety in a lot of clients' face. They're like, I don't know what to do. Where do I go? Right. But if you're kind of detailed like me, like every day having a theme that just reminds you, okay, this is a theme, and so today I need to post. That might help. That might help with your strategy. So that's some advice that I would offer.
And I think the best advice you can get for posting strategy, and call me crazy, but I'm going to say it's consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency. Be consistent. If you're going to post one time a day, post one time a day. I would say post 100 times a day if you can, but if you decide that, hey, I'm only posting one time a day, make sure, hold yourself accountable to at least do it once a day. Because consistency is what's going to get your name out there. It's what's going to get in front of people's faces. It's what's going to get people interacting with you. So you have got to be consistent. I can't tell you how many business pages I see on Facebook that have a post on October 10th, another one on November 4th.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Right, like a month apart. Like, why are you even posting?
Right. No,
I guess that's not true. I mean, whatever. I guess a post every 9 months is better than never. Maybe, but
probably not.
Consistency. Come on.
Right. Yeah, that's true. We say that all the time. But sometimes it's good too, because we're like, oh, well, I guess we'll have to talk to them.
It'd be like LeBron,
or watch the show.
That'd be like LeBron James being like, nah, I mean, I'm just going to go to practice once every 9 months.
I'm good. I'm cool.
Good.
I got it.
Forget about it.
And it's so sad, but it's like it's the easiest remedy. Just schedule it out. If you're not scheduling it out, just commit to it every day. I don't care if it's every morning and you're posting about what you're doing that day, and that's it for the next 24 to 48 hours. Make that happen. That consistency is key. That's a really good point too. You had talked earlier too about something. Oh man, I can't remember what it was. You mentioned something about.
Well, she's thinking about this.
Yeah.
Share this. Follow us on Twitter.
Oh yeah, our handles are right there too. Yeah.
Hashtag Digital Mindset. Ask us some questions. Interact with us because we'd love to hear your thoughts. And you know, we want to help you grow your business. So I know I said a lot today.
We did say a lot today.
Excuse me. I know I said a lot today, but if you want, you know, you can always rewind it.
Oh, okay. Got it. I did.
She figured it out.
Okay.
I was thinking we almost had a rewind real quick.
I know. I'm like, wait, I'm sitting up here. Okay, so here's the thing. So we just had a conversation before we start filming. Chris, I need you to talk to them about retargeting and remarketing.
Oh,
yes,
that's what it was.
That's what it was. I remember now.
And that's something that, you know, a lot of people can take advantage of. So what retargeting, remarketing is if you're using Facebook ads, which if you're a business owner and you're not using Facebook ads, you're making a big mistake.
Yes.
Create that ad account, jump on there. But so Facebook remarketing is someone clicks on your ad that you created through Facebook Ad Manager. They go see your, let's say you're an appliance company. They see your Samsung on their Facebook, they see your Samsung ad, they click on that, they come to your website. Now what you can do if you implement the Facebook pixel properly and track it properly, you can now retarget to those people that seen that Samsung washer. So I'm sure that you guys have seen it in your Facebook pages, how you went to eBay and you were looking at this Nerf gun, and now you went back to Facebook and now you're seeing the same Nerf gun in your Facebook page, and you're like,
what the hell?
Who is following me?
That's how I am.
It's a Facebook pixel, and it's
smart.
retargeting, remarketing. So
yes,
if you're not using that, check it out. If you don't know how to do it, you can always reach out to someone like IMR, talk to us. If you're bringing out the checkbook, we'll talk to you about it.
That's funny. All right, guys, we're actually getting close to ending here, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you do those things. I mean, we are really giving you guys some pretty solid tips here. I know it's a lot to take in. Please tweet us. Our handles on the sides of us. Our lives are up right now. If you guys have any questions, we will do our best to make sure that we're answering them and giving the information that that we can, because we want to be able to help as many people as we can with their digital marketing.
Yeah. Check us out online, infiniteMediaResources.com. Share this, subscribe to our YouTube channel, get at me on LinkedIn, on Twitter. We're done for today, so you know, watch this 10 times if you have to. Get your social media right, get some more attention for your business, start growing those customers, and hey, go subscribe. I'm gonna say that like 10 more times.
Yeah, subscribe. Subscribe some more.